guys, and welcome to Petrol. Now hopefully by now you've tuned into the video I put out last week with this incredible ZCars Fiat 500, the Fiabusa. Yes, it has a Hayabusa bike engine in the back. If you haven't watched that video yet, I shall put a card above right now, but make sure you watch this video before heading over to check out that one. This car, pretty uncompromising, an incredible piece of engineering, 11,000 RPM redline, nearly 200 horsepower in a classic Fiat 500. Epic machine. But what if you wanted something a little bit, well, maybe not quite as crazy, but still pretty crazy? I mean, in the world of Z cars, most things are pretty crazy, right? Well, in that case, you might be interested in this, the Fubaru. Yes, again, a classic Fiat 500, but in the back of this car is a Subaru engine. So where do I start with this car? Well, the car behind me, ZCars would describe as a kind of visceral, fast road, hair on fire kind of car. A bike engine is renowned for very high revving, but not a huge amount of torque. So what would happen if you took a high capacity, high power, high torque engine and stuck it in something as small and as lightweight as this little Fiat 500? Well, you'd get one of these. ZCars would describe this much more as a kind of resto mod, almost like a mini muscle car. It's a beautiful thing. It has creature comforts. It's got upgraded seats. It's even got a stereo, this one. If we walk through the outside styling first off, I love the front end of the car with this light bar from CBA, just absolutely brilliant thing. Lovely little leather bonnet buckles, lovely wide deep dish wheels around, little Abarth badges everywhere. It's just a stunning thing. The classic red retractable roof. It's beautiful, but for me, the really interesting bit, the engineering bit, comes at the back. I mean, how on earth do you shoehorn the engine from a Subaru Legacy into the back of one of these things? Come on, I'll show you. Yeah, shoehorned into the back of this little pocket rocket is a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder boxer engine from a Subaru Legacy, and that's producing somewhere between 160 to 170 horsepower and 225 newton meters, which is 100 newton meters more torque than the bike engined car behind me, and that gives this car completely different driving dynamic. Now, it is naturally aspirated, but believe it or not, the guys at ZCars are now currently working on one of these with the turbocharged engine from the WRX Impreza. I mean, that's going to be utterly bonkers. But to get a car of this small with an engine that big needs a bit of engineering. Have a look at this. Now, getting a big engine in a small space is one challenge, but just think about it. Normally, this engine would be at the front of a car with the gearbox and then feeding out power to the front wheels and the rear wheels, because Subarus are 4-wheel drive. Now, if we did that with this, you'd have the gearbox sticking out the back of the car. So it's been rotated through 180 degrees. So you've got the engine and then the gearbox. This car isn't 4-wheel drive, so they've basically taken the transfer box off the front and just blanked it off. So it is just a rear-wheel drive car. But think about it, I've taken an engine and I've rotated it through 180 degrees. And that basically now means that it's spinning in the wrong direction. So this car would have 1 forward gear and 5 reverse gears. So what they've then had to do is take a little crown and pinion adapter kit to basically take the output of the gearbox and, if you like, reverse its direction of rotation. So the car's now got 5 forward gears and 1 reverse gear, and I'd never even thought about that being a problem. The packaging of this is quite something as well. The gearbox is effectively sat underneath the rear bench seats, which really now are just a parcel shelf. There's no way a human being is going to actually fit in there. But then the front part of the car is actually full of some creature comfort. So let's quickly have a look at the main cockpit, and again, then we'll take it up the road and have a drive. I'm expecting this car to be a little bit more civilized and easier to drive than that one, but it's still going to be rocket ship fast. Now then, obviously still dinky, but maybe a little bit more of a normal cabin, but this is a little bit more full of creature comforts. For a start, these seats are electric seats out of a Porsche Boxster, actually. So the interesting thing is this car's not about super lightweight. You could probably remove these seats and replace them with something a little bit more lightweight. Talking to the guys from ZCars, you could probably shave about 50 kilos off of the curb weight of this car just by changing some of the components they've chosen. The car's got a stereo or music streaming and Bluetooth system, more of a normal gearbox. So I've got the 5-speed gearbox. I love the little nod to STI and Subaru on the top of the gear lever. Normal five gears, clutch pedal. A much more normal, approachable car. So again, let's get some cameras set up and head off up the road. This should be good fun.
Right.
Oh, hey, there's creature comforts in this one.
Indeed there is.
Now then, guys, hopefully you've all tuned in to last week's video with the utterly bonkers Fiabusa.
Yes.
If not, welcome Dave back to the channel, Mr. Mad Crazy Car.
Yes. Yeah.
So, compact and bijou as last time. That seat in the back is ridiculous.
It is. It is.
Parcel shelf.
Open your window a bit because it gets a little bit warm.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've got a 2.5 litre flat 4 out of a Subaru Legacy in the back.
So, yeah.
Oh, what?
Sounds nice.
Instantly, that sounds amazing.
It's a lot up throat here than the high-pitched motorcycle engine.
The contrast between that and the bike engine is unbelievable.
Massive, yeah.
So this is a much more traditional drive, I guess. You've got a normal 5-speed H-pattern box.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of touching of knees maybe at times when we're in low gears.
And loads of torque.
Loads of torque.
So we don't have a screaming 11,000 RPM redline in this one.
No,
but loads of torque low down.
Yeah, and a very strong, torquey, just pulls like a train, you know, any gear just keeps on pulling. So it's quite slow revving car, but yeah, you can do anything in this in any gear. So it's just set off in 5th if you want.
That sounds insane, because I love the sound of a Subaru.
Oh, it's,
you know, when you hear one, you can hear them coming miles away. Very distinctive sound.
Yeah.
So to take that and drop it into a car like this, it's just a stroke of genius.
Yeah, I mean it's bonkers really, but yeah, it's a barrel of fun really.
Wow.
Bit of a bumpy road this, so it's very compliant on the suspension front as well. So in terms of it's basically, you can actually go cruising in this anywhere you want. Go to Italy.
This feels like a car straight away that you could drive for much longer distances than the Hayabusa one.
Yeah.
The Hayabusa one was in your face, hair on fire, Sunday morning blast.
Oh god, yeah.
Come back, you know, with a very white complexion and just feeling a bit shaky.
Exactly.
This is chill. Seats are really comfy. Got a bit of luggage space in the back.
The seats are actually from a Porsche Boxster, so it's a kind of tenuous link to the engine. There's a Boxster engine, so
this is very true.
I don't know if that's on purpose or not. It's very comfy, very comfy. You can see it's just pulling there.
Yeah.
In 5th.
That's in 5th.
You know?
Alright, you're okay left.
So, see how she goes. Yeah, it's around 6,000 moves.
Oh man alive!
Very smooth. Oh.
That is naughty.
Yeah. Of course, in the corners.
So I guess you've got the same very short wheelbase.
Yeah.
Don't lift off mid corner.
No. You can't really. But she just goes so fast.
Oh mate, how can two cars with roughly the same concept, you know, stupid massive engine in the back, be so different? bigger engine, heavier weight on the back.
Yeah.
More traditional driving experience and more car-like to drive.
Exactly. You wouldn't need earplugs in this at all.
No.
I think if you're on a longer run, I think so. You would.
Yeah.
And that's my experience with this car. Is that after about an hour, that drone. It's not a drone. I wouldn't call it a drone. It's just that natural engine noise. It's quite peppery. So it kind of gives you that. I found after I drove it for 2 hours there, not today but previously, and you probably would need something in your ears, maybe a set of good headphones or something.
Yeah, big set of cans and an intercom system.
Exactly, yeah.
And you've got stereo in here and everything.
Yeah, we got stereo. You Bluetooth it and take a phone call and push start button. All these beautiful clocks that are here. It's kind of gives you a nice. They're all Smith's gauges actually, those, which is similar to what they put into, like AC Cobras and stuff. That you want to do.
Hey, the brakes are good.
Yeah. They'll do it for you, It's just whatever your taste is, really. Oh, it's something else, isn't it? It's such a rumble, like it's. No, you scared me in the last one, genuinely.
Oh man, that noise is just awesome. 3 different cars, all from ZCars, different engines, totally different character, different sounds. It's incredible, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's a phenomenal company when you think about it. It's a very different vehicle, but I think, look, I drove it, particularly on the motorway, funnily enough, actually, it is really fast top end on this.
Yeah.
It's hugely fast. obviously keeping within national speed limits.
Obviously.
Yeah, you can't. You just know it's there. Really.
But the other one, I think the enjoyment you get out of it is when you're really pushing it and you're going much quicker.
Yeah.
This one, it's a far more relaxing, chilled out car to drive.
Yeah. So yeah.
And it's
it's a little slice of Italy,
Yeah,
it's just
hey,
really nice.
You want to go, hey! You do. You would go around everywhere going, hey, like that to people.
But as some would say, you could swear. I mean, particularly here, you could swear you're in Italy. You're just like, you get that feeling, don't you? It's kind of. I think all Fiats have a certain smell as well that just make them.
And have
the Italian car smell is
just drop
amazing.
back and have a bit of an acceleration in a straight line. Be rude not to. You have to be very friendly in here. Keep rubbing your knee. Gearbox is nice as well, lovely short throw, even though it's a super long lever, you've not got much space, much distance between the steering wheel and the lever.
And it's up there as well, so you've got this, really good kind of rally type of feel to it.
What a car! Oh, mate. So what's next? You keep bringing me these incredible cars. You've got a couple of nice ones that aren't Z cars that we might have to explore.
Yeah, I mean,
nice Cobra for a start.
But yeah, I've got a couple of Cobras. But yeah, no, they're very special cars. So we might do a video on that in the future.
Yeah.
Weather permitting, because they're very much dry day cars. So you can't take them out in the wet. The power they're putting down is you're in the 600, 500 brake horsepower.
I've had quite a few people ask about your smart car.
Yeah, I know. It's that's we're still debating the engine, because as the Type R engine gets rarer and rarer, we're thinking of doing a different application on it. So we're probably going to go for Ford Z-Tech, something from an ST Fiesta, or we'll do the Honda. I haven't decided. I kind of put that on the back burner at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at, really. I suppose it's either way, it's going to be interesting.
This car's so much character. Right, here we go. From second. It's just a magnificent machine, this. And you don't need second because it's got so much torque. Doesn't it? It just pulls you out of everything.
Yeah, I mean
It's an epic car. Yeah. Why didn't Fiat do this to start with? Proper rocket ship, this.
Fantastic, yeah.
A proper rocket ship. Alright then, I'm going to quieten this down and draw the video to a close. What a thing.
Yeah, it's
mate. Well, thanks to you and Dave from ZCars for bringing the cars down to us and letting me share them with these guys.
It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed it.
It's been amazing. Yeah. When you sent me a WhatsApp when you need to get these two cars on the channel, I was like, bloody right I do. They are incredible things. But yes, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Two amazingly cool cars with a huge amount in common, but for me, I'm surprised at how different they are.
Yeah.
They are, the driving characteristics are just completely different. This is so much more laid back, chilled. It's a cruiser, but it sounds epic. And the Fiabusa, well, that's one of the craziest cars I'm ever going to drive in my life, I think. Which one do you prefer, guys? Let me know in the comments. But for now, massive thanks to Dave and to Dave and ZCars. Confusing that there's two Daves, really. But,
Yeah.
but I hope you enjoyed that. If you have done so, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol. Plenty more content to come, and hopefully we will see this gentleman on the channel again in the near future. Definitely, let's do it. Anyway guys, see you on the next film. Drive safe.